And because of him, South Sudan has a chance to unite and prosper and be the best country that it can be. Dr. Viva! President Salva Kiir has been stating in many, many occasions that he has been looking for a solution. All along he's been looking for a solution. For the last 20 years he's been looking for a solution. But the solution is 500 feet away from his house. Dr. SPLM-IO Viva! I will not go further because today is the day for the acting chair of IO. I just wanted to make sure that all of you open your ears, open your minds and your hearts when he comes later on to listen to him. There's a guy who makes jokes on television in South Sudan who like to say a lot of good things about the wrestlers. He says, this gentleman is short but very, very confident. Dr. Oyet is a short man but very, very confident. He believes that with him now leading the Rig inside, we will get to Juba and get the Rig out of Juba. So without further ado, I'd like to say thank to you all. SPLM-IO Viva! 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 Oyet Viva! Thank you.
I'm an acting chairman of the U.S. They asked me why, what is he going to do? It is a very difficult question. What is he going to do? Right? I know he's going to come and talk to you, but I just want to tell you one thing. Honorable Oyet has spoken many times about the solution that we need as a country. And that is, we need peace. We need peace in our country, and that peace cannot happen if the signatory of the peace agreement that the Riek Machar is still in detention and being tried in a politically motivated court. And so that message has been very consistent. He spoke about this in the region, he spoke about this in the media, he talked to us about that, and also you hear about what he's saying. So for us in the United States, we get questions if what Oyet is saying is true, because people are fighting, and because we're depending on ourselves as people who think that we're for war, as SPLM-IO is for war. What was happening is that we trusted the process. We show up in Juba thinking that the process that Nathaniel talked about was serious, and that's to come to Juba and implement the peace agreement. Little did we know that the regime had reasons or had thought to, he is saying the world misunderstood us. And so as an organization, for this to change, the top leadership needs to come and inform all the stakeholders, especially in Washington, about what SPLM-IO is looking for. And so if you're asking why is SPLM-IO acting chairman, Right Honorable Nathaniel Oyet is here, that's his mission. He wants to spread the message of peace. He wants to tell the world that SPLM-IO is for peace, but one partner in the SPLM-IG is not for peace. It is interested in getting rid of the opposition, and then it can rule the country the way that you see right now. Corruption, displacement, war, chaos. And we say, as an organization, we cannot allow that to happen. If the regime decides that this is not the solution, we want to spread this message and make the world know the person or the organization that is responsible for war in our country is SPLM-IG, not SPLM-IO. And that's what he's here for. So for us that are here, you will take this message to your people that did not make it. He spread this message and communicated this message very clearly in Washington, and they are very clear now about what SPLM-IO is trying to do. That is to bring peace in South Sudan. And that is to make sure that when we defend ourselves, we will not be accused of being warmongers, because we're not. We're not warmongers, we want peace. But one group, one party, one organization does want peace in our country, and we want to spread that message. Last but not the least is for all the members that are here. If you're not SPLM-IO member, we are reaching out to you that we are eager to have you as a member of our organization. SPLM-IO is for South Sudan, and we want to make sure that you're part of the journey. And we feel that we're going to change this country if given a chance, and I think we'll do this soon. So when you hear the word SPLM-IO, if you take away the SPLM and you just say in opposition, it's not just us, it's all of us. The whole country is opposed to the government, is opposed to the SPLM-IO, is opposed to chaos, is opposed to corruption and death, is opposed to war. And for this reason, all of us are for one thing, only that's peace. And SPLM-IO is champion for that peace. So I plead to you today to reach out to your local chapter, reach out to local members, youth league, student league, veteran league, student league, and register your child, register yourself, and become one of our members. On that note, I will now introduce Honorable Oyet, the Deputy Chairperson for Poor Relations at SPLM-IO, who's going to come and greet you, and then when that is done, you will welcome our acting chairman, whose platform is what we're here for today. You're going to hear from him.
I would like to recognize His Excellency Dr. Oyet in his absence, the First Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency the acting Chairperson, Chairman of the SPLM-IO, Right Honorable Oyet Nathaniel, who is also the First Deputy Speaker in the National Legislative Assembly. I would like to recognize Honorable Yanchiu John Gila, Member of the National Assembly, Honorable Tokar Korwiu, Member of the National Legislative Assembly. I would also like to recognize Ambassador Lam, our representative, the envoy to Red Lake region, Ambassador Isaac Tam, representative to the United States, Ambassador Myongator, former ambassador of the UN, SPLM-IO to the United States, Ambassador Manpin, Ethiopia, and all the league, the Women League, Chairperson, and the Youth League, and the Student League, and all the Veteran League. Today is our acting chair day. I love Mama, I love you, the people of the good life, but I spent a long time, I never come here. And we will not stop, we will not take time to speak along, to make long speech, because he is going to come and tell you why he's here in the US and what he's doing for the people of South Sudan. I would like to say a few things. أنا ممكن نتكلم بالعربي لكن أنا متأكد في ناس كتير ما بسمع عربي كويس. I will speak in English. SPLM-IO, when it began as a call for the reform in the government of South Sudan. It started within the SPLM, and also Salva Kiir instigated the problem. Then he killed the Nuer, and then the civil war broke out. But when we came to Nasser, Dr. Oyet told us, and instead of fighting the war of revenge, we will use this to change the country. And it will not only be Nuer, it will be all the tribe in South Sudan. I would like to speak 3 points. Number 1, the country is ruled by law. The country is ruled by law. If there is no law in the country, there is going to be anarchy in the country. If there is no rule in the country, there is no system. I used to tell people, when you violate law, you ignite another law that can create problem. And that is what is happening in South Sudan. Because in South Sudan, you can kill somebody, and you go with impunity without being held accountable. There's no justice. It's a violation of law. What happens when you kill people with impunity? There will be a lot of killing in the country. If you take money from other people, this is corruption. It is called stealing in the real sense. If you are not asked where you have taken the money, you are not held accountable. You violate the law. And what happens when you violate that law? Another person will lose some money, and that also creates killing in the country. That is a violation of law. SPLM-IO, when we tell people that we are the better system, it's not because of Dr. Oyet, not because of Professor Oyet, not because of Rasmussen. It's because we tell people that we have a system. If we go to the power, nobody will be stealing nobody money, nobody will be taking nobody land, nobody will be killing with impunity, and nobody will destroy the country. Because of the system. And also, my message to you, if you want to change, we don't want to go to the people of South Sudan and telling them that we have Brad, we have Pukad, we have everybody. We want to tell them that we have law, and the law we have to demonstrate it. Our organization, the small organization that we are running right now, we need to show that we are loyal to law, we are loyal to the system. You don't go out and do your own thing because you feel like doing it. You have to be in the system, and the people of South Sudan will see you. You are an example, and they will say, yes, SPLM-IO is really the change that the South Sudan needs. We have to stand on that. This is what I want to say. If you violate law, even the body of human beings, they have law. I can do anything that I want to do with my body. But if I happen to turn my nose upside down and the rain come down, I will be drowned. I will be dead. That is a violation of law. If you don't follow the system, you create chaos. If you don't respect the system, you create problems. And you cannot tell nobody that you are an alternative when you are the cause of anarchy yourself. Where the organization that you are running, you don't follow the law. So we are the law-abiding citizens. We need to show to the people of South Sudan, we are South Sudanese who love that country. Even the tribalism that we are talking about. You know, when there is law in the country, nobody talk of tribalism. Because you can make a law that say anyone that practices tribalism will be taken to jail. Rwanda has done that. You know, what we need is not me coming saying that I'm the good person, I can do better than this. It's because I need to respect law. I will respect the Oyet because he's my leader. You need to respect the Gam because he's your leader. But if you go out and do other things, you're not doing the right thing. And we want to be seen as the people who are respecting the system and respecting the law. Tribalism will not be in South Sudan. You know, I was in South Sudan before the referendum. And actually, I participated in the referendum campaign that led me to be appointed as the youth representative in the National Parliament. South Sudanese came out in a big number. When we stood in line in Malakal voting for a referendum, I cried because I never seen that unity. And nobody mobilized because they have a heart for the country. But self-care have destroyed it. Now I want to tell you what they are saying. Because they have stolen the money, the hospital is going to be closed down. They are saying, we are proud of the people of South Sudan because they are resilient. Even if the hospital is closed, we will use herb. You see? What does it mean? You looted the country and you are telling the people that they can use herb because you failed to run the country? Get out of the country. Let somebody come and lead the country. That's not because they have faith. And the people of South Sudan, they are not resilient. I know they are patriot, they are resilient, but the problem is they are fearing for their life because they are being tortured, they are being killed, there's no space where they can go. I want you, the people who are in diaspora, to stand up and expose the government. Right Honorable Oyet and the team who were in New York, and we met with United Nations people. And they told us you need to step up and raise the bar of the campaign. They know that there is no system in South Sudan. In one occasion, one of the ambassadors said that we will not accept any narrative that is coming out from South Sudan. Because we know after the African Union meeting, there is no leader in South Sudan. And you guys need to step up. Because they are United Nations people, they are telling Comrade Oyet in another way, do good. But they don't want to say it openly. I'm not trying to accuse them, I don't know that I say it, okay? So we need to do good and we need to support our leaders. The other thing that I want to tell you, if you are doing something, do it. Don't talk about it. Don't tell people I have done it. Do you know why? Because we have people who have given their life for this nation. Who will talk for them? If you are alive, you pay money, you do things, that is okay, God will bless you. Be silent, because people have died. And I tell people that in the Nuer culture, and I believe in Asholi culture, if somebody died, we have to marry the woman for that person, so that his name never gets lost. We will not get money and cow to merit for those self-care kids. The only thing that we will use as a dowry to pay for their children is to get South Sudan fixed and take self-care out of South Sudan and deal with South Sudan. The diaspora. The U.S. is the great country. There is no change that can come without the United States of America. If you are here, you are the voters. Talk to your representative. You know, you think that we can do better than you do. That is opposite. We don't have power. You have the power, but you're not using it. Omaha, I believe you have 2 congressmen, senators, and I think 5 congressmen. If young people, 5, can go and talk to that congressman or congresswoman, telling them that we are the voters, we vote for you to go to Washington, D.C. Please, our family, they are dying back home in South Sudan. Can you do something? They will pass a legislation to help us. Not because I say it, but because you say it, because you are the voter, you are the power. You're not using your power. Please use your power. Talk to your representative. And also talk about corruption. Like the few days ago I was harassed in Juba being that you had the Minister of Finance who was just appointed. I think for the last 1 year we have like 6 Ministers of Finance. They never happened in the world. And now what Salva Kiir is doing, Comrade Lam said that he was looking for solutions. I read that when I was in the parliament. And this is one of the things that we were being targeted. Comrade, we always talk in the parliament. You appointed somebody. He has stolen money. You fired him. You're looking for solutions. You leave him go home with money, millions of dollars. Nobody has him. He will come around and pay, because there are people in the office of the president who make list of the ministerial position. If Isaac is going to be Minister of Petroleum, he has to pay $1 million. And they write a degree, they tell the president that when he gets drunk, of course, they say, children. When he gets drunk, they will come with a degree, they say, baby, can you sign him? Oh, just sign. Tomorrow, Isaac is appointed because he pay $1 million US. And then when he comes for the hostility, Salva Kiir will ask, I'm going to appoint him later. So this is the real issue. And I want to conclude with this. There was a story. في مونكي كان في شجرة والكل أيوانات بيجي ينتهي الشجرة ده في موية أيوانات كله بيجي ومونكي قاعد يقول للناس ما في زول يتكلم إذا أنت جاي عشان تشرب موية أشرب وايلي واسكت ما تقول هاي لأنه there is a monster down there لو سمع صوت بتاعه بيجي براه وبطول نقول وكل الناس بيجي silently, quietly, they will bring and go back. And then Talib Jah, Monkey Galo Yakama, Matam Rizal, Gal, Malufishu, Gal, Film, P. Haji Kabir and Akhel Moy, Talamata Izal, BABG, be Uberdona. And then Rapa saw that she did, I will not say because you will run away because I am Makakro. Gal, who is that? And then nobody show up. Gal and Nazare to mind the Kukai. Comrade Oyet, everybody is silent in Juba. And everybody told him, don't talk. And people listen. Other people listen. But Comrade Oyet come and say, who is there?
Viva South Sudan, viva! Viva! Viva all of us! Viva! I pass my warmest greetings. Greetings from our people in South Sudan. Greetings from our poor citizens, our gallant forces, those who are being bombed, those who are going without food. I bring to you their greetings and appeal. I came to the United States of America on invitation. I know there are those who say I came for asylum. But I want to clarify that I did not come for asylum. I have a very big responsibility in my country, a very big responsibility to our citizens who are suffering. I came also to attend a conference organized in Washington, D.C. I was invited as a leader, acting chairman of the SPLM-IO. Also as the first deputy speaker of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly of the Republic of South Sudan. At this juncture, I want to affirm to President Salva Kiir and all those who work with him that all the violations that he has meted on the agreement, especially removing positions that were allocated to other parties, especially SPLM-IO, we reject that action. Dr. Riak is the first vice president of the Republic. I'm the first deputy speaker of the parliament. All ministers and governors, MPs, commissioners that were unfairly removed in violations of the agreement, we have rejected this, and I want to affirm it here.
SPLM-IO viva! Viva! SPLM-IO viva! Viva!
I came to the United States to appeal for peace. Peace for my country. Peace for South Sudan. Peace for the people of South Sudan. They have suffered. They are being killed. They are sleeping on the flat. That is what brought me here. It is not an asylum. They also said he was invited by the Noel community. Yes. If you had invited me, I will come.
I will viva!
And if the Equatorian community invite me, I will also come. They are my people. And if Barakazal community invite me, I will come. They are my people. All of us are one people. The politics, it is politics that have divided us. When others call themselves majority, others call others minority. This is the politics that have destroyed South Sudan. should be equal before the law. We cannot judge you by your tribe, by your skin color, by your religion, by your region, by your party. Political parties are platform for governance. We can't judge you because you are an IO, you are IG, you are SOA. That kind of politics will destroy a country, and that is what is in the hands of Salva Kiir Mayardit. Yes, South Sudan now is destroyed. Salva Kiir removes, he appoints, he declares war, he corrupts, he steals with his family, in-laws, with his generals, politicians. He has completely destroyed the country. In 2013, we did not want war, but we wanted, after independence, we wanted to put South Sudan on track. Because between 2005 and 2011, South Sudan lost over $30 billion coming from the oil. This money did not go to school, did not go to build roads, did not go to build hospitals, did not give a scholarship to our people, our children, but it went to individual pockets. Many of these monies ended up in Kenya, in Uganda, in the entire East Africa and beyond. People built estates. People bought mountains in foreign lands and built, left South Sudan to suffer. The liberation of over 50 years was totally in vain. They have forgotten the suffering, the blood of the martyrs, which we sang in the national anthem, has been forgotten completely. These monies ended in pockets. Okay. If that was the purpose of some of our brothers and sisters going to the force to fight in the name of liberation, let them take the money. Might be the next generation will ask if we refuse to ask it. But what has brought us here? When we try to ask this, 2013 massacre. The massacre of 2013. Salva Kiir took the disagreement personal with his brother, Dr. Oyet Machar. He should have remained there. Since they are all politicians, let them disagree. It's their entitlement. But when he tried to disarm a section of presidential guard who were only knowing this is what is PAC fighting in the barracks of Giada, he did not stop there. He had already recruited militias, which he brought from Barkazam region. These militias are our sons, but indoctrinated to hate others and to kill on orders. Salva Kiir should have stopped only in the barracks. Let the men in uniform handle themselves. But he ordered a militia force called Dut Kuben to go from house to house to search anybody that looks like Noel and kill. In Miosaba, in Munuki, in Jebel, in New Side. This is what reduced South Sudan completely to its knee and destroyed our unity, our brotherhood, our love, and peaceful coexistence, all destroyed and gone. Just by the decision of one man on top in the name of the president. He did not do it alone. And we know whoever contributed to the massacre of our citizens. You were talking about White Army? Somebody asked me a question. White Army, are they also your forces? White Army are relatives of those who were killed in Juba. When they heard that their relatives, their mothers and fathers, their brothers were now finished in Juba, including Dr. Riak, whose whereabouts on December 15th, 16th, 17th was not known with his family. The White Army, those youth with the arms or without arms, attempted to run to Juba, to pull out their people. These youth decided on their own, with their own instinct of love for their relatives, to try to go to Juba. The White Army existed before IO.
SPLM-IO viva! SPLM-IO viva! Dejembor viva! Dejembor viva! Dejembor mudang nichele viva!
The armed youth. The armed youth phenomenon in South Sudan is not distinct to Upper Nile, to Nuer community, to Eastern Equatorial community, to Central Equatorial community, Western Equatorial community, Barakazal community, you have Tidbai, you have Matianganyor, you have Gelway, the Arrow Boys, Agwelek, Bushok. I don't know how they are calling Murle. If you go to any village in South Sudan to occupy land, to raid cattle, to kill people, you will be resisted by this group. Whether you are a government or you are a group of armed youth like them, they will resist you and also chase you. So White Army is a general phenomenon which we wanted to address in the agreement which we signed. Transitional security arrangement provided for those who want to be in the army should join the army, the police, the national security, and so on. And those who do not want to be in the army, they should go for DDR and be integrated in the civil society. It is the same agreement which is being destroyed by President Salva Kiir today. If he doesn't want White Army, let him implement the agreement. White Army will be no more. If he refuses, as we are seeing, he's destroying the agreement day and night. The phenomena of White Army in Eastern Equatoria, in the entire Equatoria, including Barakazal and Upper Nile, will never disappear because people are even afraid.
SPLM-IO viva!
People are even afraid from the government. Who is killing them? The massacre in Pankor, who did it? It is the government. The massacre in Juba, who did it? It is the government. The massacre that has been going on in Dongole, who did it? In fact, I want to reveal to you and to the world, government is arming their own citizens against themselves. And in broad daylight. They have done this in Jongole. We have seen the trouble between the Murle and the Nue. The trouble between the Murle and the Dingabur. The cause is the government, not these poor citizens. It is the government giving weapons one side against the other side for political reasons. And the same scenario elsewhere. Comrades, South Sudan has been destroyed, as I've said. In 2015, we signed an agreement which was destroyed. 2018, we signed another agreement. The same agreement has now been destroyed. How did it start? Last year, as we were busy trying to implement the agreement, Salva Kiir was preparing for war. And because of guilt in his conscience, He tells people in the media that he will never take the country back to war. That was reverse psychology. Guilt of the plans that he has been doing. Violating arms embargo, denying resources for implementation of the peace agreement, attacking cantonments like Toro, training centers in Kajokeji, in Unity State. We are very busy because we know there is no country that can develop without peace. Accepting peace is not a weakness. You are now in the United States, working, going to school, sending children to school. Without peace, you cannot do it. And we wanted that to happen in our country. We did not want war again after 50 years. Liberating our country. Many people condemn us, including our own members, that we were weak as the leadership of IO. But that one, I want to tell you today that it was not a weakness. This is the goal of any political organization. If you want to build a country, you cannot build through war. You build it through peace.
SPLM-IO viva! SPLM-IO viva!
Those who are manufacturing war in South Sudan, you know they have no vision for good life for our people. They are there to loot, to steal, and to kill. Only. Nothing else. If they have good vision for the country, they will go for peace. Peace is the only goal. The entire UN system is anchored on peace. The entire world system is anchored on peace. South Sudan cannot be exception. In March, the manufactured situation in Wija, in Nasir. The situation in Nasir was manufactured by the government. There has been an easy relationship between the SSPDF who were in Wija and the youth, the regular citizens in Nasir. Some of the problems would start in the market when an SSPDF soldier develops misunderstanding with a member of the youth. They would quarrel. Let them quarrel. These are citizens of one country. They will resolve it, whether through law or through reconciliation. When they ordered contingent of SSPDF, mount them on badges, they sent Olon, General Olon, Comranli, and all the generals to Malakal. They brought badges, mount Abushok militias, and disarm the youth. The youth, knowing that those coming to disarm them are also youth, militias, they rejected. And because they were also armed, fighting broke out in Nasir, in Wijan.
Torquila viva! Viva! Torquila viva! Viva!
And what happened? If the problem was Nasir, why did they go to Ula? Gawar end. Why did they go to Western Equatoria and attack Governor Futio? Where is Governor Futio now? He's not in town. They wanted to kill him. Why did they go to Nigeria? If the problem was only Nasser. Why did they go to Western Barakaza? Kubribo? Why did they go to Torit? Kajukeji? It was a set-up to spoil the peace of South Sudanese, to deny them development, to deny them stability. We are going to make Salva Kiir and his group to only rule themselves.
Acting chairman viva! Acting chairman viva! Colonel viva!
Without the peace agreement, Salva Kiir is not my president. There is also no national unity in South Sudan. We will create our own unity outside the control of Salva Kiir. And we will move forward with good ideals of building a country that in South Sudan now, in every state, you have governor for IO and you have governor for Salva Kiir.
IO viva! IO viva!
You have commissioners for IO and commissioners for Salva Kiir. They are confined to the headquarters or barracks. The rest of the periphery and the Payams, they are not there. We have chased them away and they will never come back. Of South Sudan now, very poor. Can you be represented like that? In the African Union, in IGAD, in East African Community, can you accept to be represented like that?
No. Tell me I'm walking.
We want vibrant foreign policy being executed by vibrant diplomats. Our missions abroad must pay their membership subscription to the UN, to AU, to East African Community, to IGAD, to World Bank, to IMF, to all the organizations. We have all the resources, but has been stolen and looted. Now they are unable to pay for their membership in all these forums. They cannot even take care of ambassadors, diplomats. They cannot. They cannot even rent embassies. In Nairobi, even in small countries, they have rented their embassies in good places, in high-end places. But you guess, where is the embassy of South Sudan? It's in Yaya Center. where there are also companies, offices, there are casinos, and our diplomats are made to work from there. Is this one not an insult to our liberation? And we continue to sing the national anthem with pride. Can we accept this kind of government? No. We'll never accept the government. The other day I was told, even in the air center, they failed to pay. They were closed for 1 week. And I'm told I do have to take money from where he hid it. How much are those salaries? The salary of a doctor or a teacher is an equivalent of, if they are well paid, is $20 in a month. But the government cannot pay this. Not that they don't have the money, but the money is being stolen. Doesn't exist. If you cannot pay this, even for the services to our citizens, the government has lost legitimacy, and we cannot accept it to remain in Cuba. Because this is wrong. Even our friends, like United States, Norway, Britain, many in Africa and around the world, including Cuba, where we trained some of our forces before, including the leaders of the liberation. After seeing us, we have forgotten about them and we don't listen to them. They have also abandoned us. But I'm here to tell them that they should not abandon South Sudan. South Sudan does not belong to Salva Kiir or SPLM-IO. It belongs to the masses, the 64 communities.
SPLM-IO 64 tribe viva!
We must win back our friends by bringing peace, genuine peace, not false peace, where there is cheating, there is violations, there is killing, massacre, and genocide. This is not the peace. Salva Kiir is determined to rule the country minus other communities, and we will not accept this. Juba now has become a concentration camp where you will starve, you are not paid your salaries, there is a non-gunman, you will be killed, and the sun is also hot. We must rescue our people, Yajama. Naspitana Tabani. We must go for a rescue mission. And my message to you, diaspora, you are part and parcel of our community. You are South Sudanese with dual citizenship. The nationality of your country of origin is first. Then other nationalities come later. Don't forget your roots. Turn back to your country. Don't look down on yourself. You are seated here. You are an ambassador. You are a minister. You are an MP like them that we appointed before. You are a governor. You are seated in this room. And it is your right. Don't look down on yourself. Regardless of what job you are doing, or what kind of life you are doing, you are having, your country needs you.
Yes.
Those who are ready to go with me, buy your ticket, let's go to front.
SPLM viva! SPLM viva! Frontline viva!
And if you are not ready to go with me, there is another front line here, right here. I've gone to front line. I need to eat. I need logistics. You are here to provide that. We have obligation towards our people, towards the country. Do whatever you can to help our situation. Only with my laptop and my stuff for my office. I left after spending 8 days within the town. When they started fighting, and they invited foreign troops to come. That was when I left. Because I knew war has been declared. And I knew they said they had gotten the leadership of the party, Dr. Oyet and his deputy, the members of political bureau, the MPs, the members of Liberation Council, who were in Juba. They thought they had already gotten all of them. None will leave. But I left. Some people who wanted to defect, like those of Parkour, were sarcastic and saying, we had to do what we did because Oyet left us. The regime had planned all the scenarios against the leadership of IO and against the entire movement. If all of us were all arrested in Juba, this meeting was not going to take place. And nobody was going to be there to tell the story, what exactly happened. And nobody was going to resist, knowing that the entire leadership of IO are all wiped out. Where will you begin from? When I walked for 2 weeks and I reached a place which was safe, the first press statement I issued there was no power, no electricity, no nothing. I used my phone to alert the world that what was going on was a violation of the agreement. And I told the world, we will not accept. I said, all members of IO should never go to Juba. You were saying, the agreement is not for one man. It's not about Dr. Oyet. Let people implement the agreement. They will continue working while Dr. Oyet is in detention. There is no peace agreement if the signatory is arrested. And there will be no any other agreement in South Sudan if Dr. Oyet, who signed the agreement, has been arrested. Any other arrangement is a ploy to lure us in and also arrest us. That was the statement that I issued. And at that point, some of you look for me started calling me, and they were even doubting that might be my phone was hacked. Because there is no sane human being who can issue a statement as strong as that in that kind of situation. I received phone calls from these ones who are sitting behind. Are you safe? I told them, I'm safe for now. And they said, we don't know what to do. But we have established an emergency response team because of the situation in Juba. I told them, I approve whatever. IO is a party, a movement of volunteers. Anybody who wants to help in whatever way, nobody should stop him or her. This is how Resource Mobilization Committee came about. Some of you complain that they are not part of the structures. This is a voluntary work. They can easily go back to their families and leave IO to perish. But they chose to help IO. I could not have denied to approve what they were doing. If it is honest, if it is credible, if it can be respected, if the outcome can be respected, this is the only cost-effective mechanism for settling disputes, political differences. But we have a man sitting in Juba with his group that have rejected dialogue. If he has rejected dialogue, that means Salva Kiir is not honest and he will never be honest. And therefore, the answer is for us to go to Juba this time. We will not continue in diaspora here. We will not continue in the bushes forever. We will plan our things. We'll design a strategy and we'll go and capture Juba by force. We'll bring a regime change. And that regime will unite all the South Sudanese. From Barakazan to Upper Nile to Equatoria, women, children, elderly, all tribes will love themselves again. The hatred that I see in social media will cease. That hatred is a product of a regime that has been ruling us since 2005. That hatred is the ideology of SPLM-IO. Do you know in South Sudan, there is a saying that if you are corrupt and you are a thief, you are stealing government public funds, they say our thief is better than yours. Ministers would steal and will be praised by his people as a hero. Governors can steal and they are praised by their own communities. This is how Salva Kiir is being praised. Because people deny the truth. They know that what he's doing is wrong, what a minister does is wrong, by stealing public funds, but members of his tribe will respect him, will not challenge him. But we, the IO and NAS, I want to make this also very clear, that we are in cooperation agreement with NAS.
SPLM-IO viva! SPLM-IO viva! NAS viva! NAS viva!
These are South Sudanese who are also aggrieved like us. They are victims, we are also victims. Where they come from, they are also victims. Where our colleagues from Upper Nile come from, they are also victims. The victims have united, and they will see the wrath of the victims to bring justice and accountability in that country. We and NAS will move forward. We are also reaching out to UPA to bring them on board. We'll reach out to anybody who have disagreed with Juba to bring them on board.
SPLM-IO viva! SPLM-IO viva!
We cannot monopolize liberation in South Sudan. No tribe can monopolize liberation of a country, like what those of Salva Kiir claim. When they went to Nimulet, they said, this land of Madi, we have liberated it with blood. When they went to Kafoita, they also said the same thing. This is monopoly of liberation. Liberators are volunteers who sacrifice for the greater good of everybody, not for themselves. If you go to Kafoita and demand a blood because you were there and you did not die, because at least those who died, we know they have spilled blood, but you were still walking. Where did you spill your blood? This is what destroyed South Sudan. In Juba, there are people who lost their properties, plots of land, in Tongping, in Yemen, everywhere, to people who are not the bona fide owners. And if you try to insist, you will be killed. This is what is happening in Juba. On top of looting the country, dividing our people. So, comrades and friends, ladies and gentlemen, I came to interact with you in Nebraska and give you this message, give you encouragement to say it is not over. Your country is waiting for you. The poor citizens, they are thinking about you. They are looking up to you. Here are the leaders that we appointed. We are appointed to work with you, to organize you. Some of you are asking, that there is no diversity. This is a genuine question. When the conflict started in 2013, I went to join the struggle with Oyet. Nadugore, who were announcing to reform this party, SPLM-IO. The day we formed IO was the day Pierino was in Bull inciting youth who went and killed 47 IDPs in POC in Bull. And we were informed in the conference that now there is massacre in Bull. And we as leaders, patriotic sons and daughters of South Sudan, decided that we shall not replicate what Salva Kiir and his group were doing in Juba. We rather form a party that can unite our people, that can stop the Holocaust, the genocide, that can bring peace and stability. This is how IO came. During that time, the majority were from one community. We cannot blame them. That why are you many here? When we know they were being killed. They were running. And because the necessity to fight a war of defense and liberation, IO must organize itself. And we started appointing our members, some in the political bureau, some in diaspora missions. This is how some of them came. That is why you may say there are many, because some of them they serve since then. But I want to tell you, IO belongs to 64 tribes.
64 tribes, viva!
The diversity of IO is a necessity. Other communities, other nationalities, they have shown solidarity with the victims of genocide in Juba, in South Sudan. That's why they stand today. And I stand in front of you. Because what is happening in South Sudan, I hate. And whoever also came out from his nationality to oppose the regime is welcome. The structures of IO in diaspora and back at home must accommodate diversity. And other nationality must step forward as well and be assertive. You cannot remain aloof and expect to see diversity in IO. When we went to Juba, with the position given to us by the agreement, we took the map of South Sudan and placed it before us. We said, how many MPs? We had 155. We said, divide it by 10. States and the 3 administrative areas. We allocated that. How many ministers? 9. Divided by 10. We failed to divide. because they were less. Then we took the regional configuration, divided by 3 regions. And we realized it will not be enough because the 3 administrative areas are also there. We said, okay, the position of the first deputy speaker and the speaker of the Council of States, you lump them together with the ministries. And the first vice president. This is how the first vice president in Upper Nile, the first deputy speaker in Equatoria, the speaker in Barakazam. Was this one fair? We went down to the ministries, deputies, governors. 1 out of the 3, we put 1 in Equatoria, 1 in Upper Nile, 1 in Barakazam, Western Barakazam. And we appointed one of you who has embarrassed us and embarrassed you. She was here at the UN representing us. We thought women will be honest. When we appointed her from color blue, she went and put on color red. Even when she was in the office as our governor, the red was inside, the blue was outside. And she said she was playing politics. Yajama politics is not a dirty game. It is individual who make it dirty. Politics is a vehicle for creating good life for the people. If it was for dirty game, nothing good will come from it. This is how Salva Kiir is now stranded with power and politics. Because he defined it as dirty game, now there is nothing good. Massacre, corruption, and what? Everything. This is how we try to promote our diversity. For those of you who are questioning whether we abide by the principle of diversity and national unity, we'll also do it in the party. So, without further ado, I continue appealing to you. Do you know one secret I want to give you? As who are here, I don't know how many we are, but if I count from here, the first line, we are more than 10 or 10. If I count that way, you can go to, I don't know how many, maybe 50. We in this room now, if we want to capture Juba, because what I'm looking for is not much for me to go to Juba and dislodge President Kiir. We who are here can move to Juba. IO has we have the weapons, we have the vehicles, we have the tanks, we have the artilleries. We are not just a simple organization. I just want to get something few. You'll hear people are crying in Juba. We're not going there to kill civilians, but to change a system that has killed them.
Change viva.
I want to give this chance. If there are questions, I will answer. Thank you very much.
In this organization, as I know, it's not your question alone, but all of you. What is your first priority to liberate these people in the home? What is your first priority? I don't want an answer right now in front of me, but think about it. Of each individual from you guys. We are the advocate for this situation for so many years. Almost about 15 years now today, or more than that. As the church leader, we have a lot of friends. But if you need advice, come to us, we have a lot of friends. From the church, from the Congress, from any state, from the... Don't be shy away to come from us. We are the leaders of you. Because these people, we preach on the front of them every week. And you guys come one time a month, maybe a year. And we interact with them every day. We are the key leaders to tell you guys what these people think. Because we talk to them every day. Thank you. What is your first priority?
For coming here today. My name is Justin Murray from Lincoln, Nebraska. I've heard you talking about the current government, which we are all aware of what they're doing. My question is, if you succeed, and I hope you do, we all pray for you that you succeed, what kind of governance do you want to provide or render to your people in terms of leadership structure and also military? Thank you.
My name is Brock Rogin. My question is, the SPLM-IO should refrain from getting into the trap of the SPLM-IG, by victimizing increasing the collateral damage or killing of civilians. 2 weeks ago, 25 miles from Juba, there was an abduction of 3 individuals, in the area of Organa, and according to the sources of the people in the village, they identified as the opposition force. So I really advise, because minimizing the collateral damage is a very good signal, because the same people that you're victimizing, tomorrow they may be supporting you. Thank you very much.
Peace agreement with them again. The second question is this one. Good. When the war broke out in Nasser last year, Oyet, what? Why there is no reinforcement from IO between those areas? Those are my questions.
Okay, أنا درنا دمرة آخر question عشان الشربة اللي راجع.
أنا بسأل سؤال بتاعي ده بالعربي. أنا بقول إنتوا ناس IO، في ناس كتير بطلع برا من IO. ببدأ IO في الأول وفي الآخر بمشي بخلى IO ويجاب لنا المشاكل دي كله. في حاجة بطلع ناس برا من IO ممكن تعنصر هذا ده؟
هذه عنصر ده بنجيب التوقع ده موضوع كويس عشان
cannot be one person.
Okay, my question is follow. Are you guys mobilizing all the South Sudanese in here in North America, Australia, Canada? If so, do we have connection among ourselves? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay.
One of the leadership in Minnesota no response team that should be recognized as what else. So my question is that are we going back to peace agreement or are we going for regime change? If the peace agreement is the way forward, so how are we going to do that? And those mediators are the African Union and IGAD, and what is the possibility there?
Okay, Asil Ajat Kulu, Chairman, it's a chance then to answer the questions. Thank you.
Number of questions have been asked. Some of them are comments, some are real questions. There is a question which says, what is the first priority of SPLA now? The one who asked, he said the answer is optional. I can answer it now or no. But I want to just give an overview. Of course, as an organization, we have our plans. We have our objectives. We have tactics. We have programs. And now, the peace agreement has collapsed. And we are under attack by the enemy. Our priority now is to defend ourselves. Since last year, we have been organizing ourselves for this purpose. Self-defense has been the strategy from the start of the violence last year. But we realized that the regime was taking it for the weakness of violence. At some point, towards the end of last year, we had to change the strategy of self-defense. Because the enemy attacking us, they plan in Juba, they plan in Bor and other states' capitals. They plan from the barracks. They do reinforcement. And they import weapons. They create alliance in the region and beyond. So we had to change this strategy of entirely defending ourselves. Self-defense was upgraded to also mean where they used to send troops from to attack us. In fact, we captured it, entered in there, destroyed their means of attacking us. In Jongoland, the enemy that used to be what? Oyet, by Jude. They started a policy of divide and rule and destabilization in the Now area. They would mobilize youth, give them ammunition, and send them to the next village. This youth will go and attack those villages, kill people, and even raid cattle. They wanted to inculcate hatred, revenge, destabilize the areas in no area. They even sent elements out to Gawad, Oyet, to attack them there. When we realized this, they organized counterattack. They came with a counterattack, adopted the tactics of RSF. Some of you might know, mounting vehicles with the troops, and because of dry season, they are able to drive very fast and break some of our defensive positions. So I'm explaining self-defense as our priority, and now we have upgraded it. We need one or two things so that we can march as far as we can. And Juba is our destination. And the second question, what kind of governance do you want to establish in South Sudan in terms of governance and military? In South Sudan, one of our core federalism is a popular demand of the people of South Sudan. It was demanded from the British, demanded from the Khartoum-based regime, from the Arabs regime, during the High Executive Council government. Anyanya one fell short of achieving federalism. They only established a semi-autonomous SPLM-SPLA came with the idea of federalism. Though there are elements within SPLM, and they are now left in the IG, SPLM-IG, that faction. They don't want federalism. And you must mark this very carefully. The ringleader who does not want federalism in South Sudan is Salva Kiir. All this manipulation, even the independent constitution, by the way, the independent constitution of 2011, which is now the transitional, some MPs in parliament, South Sudan, they rejected it. The national dialogue, which Salva Kiir himself launched, the report decreed federalism to be established in South Sudan. These were the voices of the masses. But Salva Kiir and his group rejected federalism. Instead, they believe that the powers in South Sudan and resources should be accumulated in central government, where they can decide anything, even if what they decide is against the people of South Sudan. They want to control resources from the oil. Since 2005, in the budget, it's only 10%. You imagine the bulk of the population of South Sudan, they live in the states and counties and payams. But the government of Salva Kiir only gives them 10% of the budget. Even this 10% of the budget sometimes do not reach because they are eaten. The rest of the 90% remains in his hand. He controls the media, the first deputy speaker. I know what goes on in the government. Salva Kiir is the only person who can tell the Minister of Finance that you pay. And some of these payments, most of them, they go to companies that are associated with them or with the donors. That's why they don't want federalism. Because with the federal system of government, I don't need to lecture to you. You live in the United States of America. You know what federalism does in terms of resource allocation, in terms of power structure. In terms of military, nobody should claim that his tribe or him, he can protect the rest. South Sudanese must protect themselves. Not anybody who can claim sitting in Cuba. South Sudanese must protect themselves. They are there co-opted. They have no stake. Have you ever heard the commander of Presidential Guard being from other places? In Binfam, the same story. We want national character in the army. So that nobody can plan massacre. Nobody can plan genocide. What happened in 2013 could not have happened if the army was professional, if the army had national character. When you bring an army, recruit an army from one village or from one state, and you bring them to Juba to kill other people, to enforce dictatorship on others. So we want to review the military of South Sudan. We thought the peace agreement would do so. When we created cantonments all over the country, those in eastern Equatoria, in central Equatoria, that Salva Kiir doesn't want in the agreement. He wants to rule the country single-handedly. You don't see the promotion in Cuba? Ball. Deng. Only. We want to review this kind of status quo so that you get Deng, you get Oyet, you get whoever, you get Queen. So this is the military that we have in mind, SIO. SPLM should not kill civilian. IO should not kill civilian. We don't kill civilian, my friends.
Yeah.
We even don't kill SSPDF if they surrender. In Akobo, in Oyet, ICRC, to go and pick prisoners of war, and those who were young, we handed them over to ICRC and UNUBIS. It is in the record. If they are criminals who abducted people along Juba Road, Juba Yei Road, that is not IO. But on the contrary, there is no any prisoner of war that the SSPDF is spared. They have killed everybody. Women and children. Even chicken. This is a policy of genocide, which we are also telling the world that the regime in Juba has no human face. And somebody was saying, he heard me saying we don't need to capture Paloj. I know what you want from Paloj. Is to destroy the oil fields, not so?
To cut the power of government.
I don't want to talk details of this, but I want to tell you, the regime in Juba will never survive. We can do anything, may fall anytime. Some of these installations, refineries, schools, hospitals, bridges, we don't destroy them because we need them when we become government. Airports, we don't destroy. But we have noticed the regime, the same regime, is bombing hospitals, is bombing bridges, schools, is destroying boreholes. The regime has no human face.
Poisoning the water.
Poisoning water. If you are to vote, this regime that wants to conduct elections without human face, and IO, and together with IO opposition, that wants to preserve life, that wants to preserve the country, who will you vote? IO. Now the regime is marooning all these areas, looking for people to kill, and people are running away from them. They go to Wagat, people are not there. They go to Nasir, people are not there. It is only the barracks and their commissioner. The population have left. Who are they going to govern? Musa, I told you Salva Kiir must govern himself. He will never. The refugee camps, they don't feel safe to return back until something happens in Juba. And that thing that will happen is a regime change. If IG gives back, okay, the question is tricky. But I want to tell you that we now know the character of the regime and the person that we are dealing with. I actually want to upgrade this question. If they release Dr. Riak, are we going back to Juba? Dr. Riak is here now released, and he's in his top, and he remains in his residence. They only announce you're under house arrest, you cannot leave, go to the office and so on. Now they also announce that you are now free. And he's still in the same house. My question, are you going to go to Juba? Don't ask me only. I want to ask you. They released Dr. Riak. Now, as we speak, they announce that, oh, Dr. the lack of political will that is inherent in Salva Kiir. What about the dishonesty that is in the SPLM-IO? What about the foreign troops that are in South Sudan and they are fighting? What about the atrocities that have been committed in South Sudan since 2013? Will the release of Dr. Riak? We must go for serious business. We must go for serious business and review the character of SPLM-IO, beginning with the president. And we cannot accept to be blackmailed in any way. We don't get it right. If I look back, there is nobody coming. I'm going to join them. If you don't want to come, I will be with you. Why there is no reinforcement? What we are dealing with. Partly you also know all the requirements for a successful operation, for sustained operation. You know, move forward. I want to end the life of that regime as soon as possible. So that my people, the suffering that they are going through should stop. The refugees, the IDPs should get back home. You should also come home to build your country. There are people who defect. Is there something? But what I want to tell you, that the generations that we are dealing with today, they are not the same generation that has been there in Anyanya 1, Anyanya 2, even SPLA, SPLM. They have tested chips and chicken, dollars, V8. These members can defect anytime, my friend. The vision for the country is not there. We're wiped out. And now the records, since 2013, over 450,000, almost 500,000 people died, properties destroyed, people displaced, over 4 million people displaced. 500,000 dead, over 4 million displaced. And you know, in the census, how many were we? 12,000. Even the 12,000 was a reviewed figure. It was 8 million only. That means over half of the population submerged. And if you're a leader, a patriotic politician, a nationalist, you cannot just forget this. Those of Tabande, in 2016, they have turned their back on you. They did not turn their back on Dr. Yak. Because Dr. Yak is only one man. They turned their back on the community. Alone. They did everything possible to kill Dr. Yak. When they did not get him, they killed others. Blackwater. They went to Dubai, look for funds to hand down Dr. Yak. They have done everything they could. But Dr. Yak survived. They went to Unity State, to Eastern Equatoria, where my constituency is, and displaced all of them, killed them. But the same Tabande fled in 2013. If it was good, why did he run away? Ezekiel Lord was detained. Now he's praising the person who detained him. Is there sanity? Is there humanity? They don't have humanity at all. They don't deserve any respect. They went. Those of Komranli, that two bishops, Oyet. For Toy, they got him in town. Because when dogfight occurred, Toy was in J1. When Dr. Yak was to leave to go to side 1, he had to be escorted. And IG said, we shall give somebody to escort Dr. Yak, but we want security guarantee for the person who will go. You leave Toy behind, so that we know that one will be safe, you will also be safe here. When that one happened, Toy was locked in town. This is how he remained. And then he gave up. Those who died, those in refugee camps, They don't care about those ones. I'm talking about those who left IO. But there are those ones also in South who are also defecting. Others have defected, and defected. Some of them have formed for themselves. At the end, you hear they are negotiating with the regime. And everybody who wants to defect must curse IO, must curse Dr. Riak. If you are not heard insulting Dr. Riak and his wife, your value is not there.
That's right.
After 2 weeks, they take it away. But you have already defected. You cannot now go back. And if you are a military man, they give you weapons to go to your area, like those of Simon Magway. In Juba, he was made to defect. Then they get him, take him to land. I'm happy with the people of land. When Simon Magway arrived, everybody ran away. Recently he was sent, then let him go and capture Akobo. Before we captured Pajud and the rest. They were sent to go and destabilize the whole area. But the way they fled from what? And UN, I'm sure they will tell the stories very well. Is IO mobilizing all South Sudanese? IO has an open door for you.
SPLM-IO viva! SPLM-IO viva!
We shall not buy you with money. We shall not buy you with positions. But we shall tell you what kind of South Sudan we want. If you are from the 64 tribes and you want that kind of South Sudan, you are welcome. And join us. Holy scripts, archives, even if somebody say the agreement is back, the spirit is not there. You can only bring the text of the agreement. But the spirit is gone. We don't trust Salva Kiir anymore. He can violate the same agreement. We are going, if there is any dialogue, we are going to review everything. We'll review what we are now in is a struggle. I want to pass my sincere appreciation to all of you who made your time out of your busy schedule to come to this of South Sudan. Whether you are a woman, you are a man, you are young, or you are old, you love your country. You have demonstrated patriotism, nationalism, which I did not expect. I heard people are driving miles and miles to come. And they will again drive to other areas where I may visit. We'll be free together with all our colleagues. If anything happened to any of them, the one holding them in Juba will be accountable. Especially Dr. Yak. If anything happens to him, that country will be in a very terrible shape. And the history of those countries changed completely. I don't want to wish anything to South Sudan, but those who are holding our political detainees must take into account what I'm talking about. For South Sudan to remain one country, and those who are imposing dictatorship and rejecting federalism, that country will disintegrate. That you wish South Sudan well, and the people of South Sudan well. You work with your leaders. Some of you will be appointed to positions of responsibility here, in USA, in Canada, in Australia, in Europe, UK. Take up those responsibilities. Your qualities will be known, so that tomorrow, if the leadership of the party, I know we have met, you have driven long distance to come and attend this rally, to come and interact with your leaders. So thank you very much for coming, and I wish you all the best as you go back, and you will remain in Nebraska, a historical place where all leaders of South Sudan visited. Remain in peace and united.
Nebraska viva!
You keep our custom.
The United States National